Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. What's up, ninth floor? I love the energy this morning. Let's get it, baby. Morning, Exponential. Hey, Juan. Morning. So a little bit of a reaction to that unemployment news, eh? Big volatile candles. Unemployment rate is up. Forecasting 3.7%. It's at 3.9%. Non-farm is up though. Quite a bit. They're expecting 229, came in at 275. Hourly earnings are down too, quite a bit. So some mixed economic news to explain both the big move down and the big move up as that all came in. Morning, Squid. How we doing today? Yo, what's up, Cricket? Good morning. Happy Friday to everyone. I honestly can't believe it's already Friday. This week has flown by. Oh, yikes. Yeah. Yeah, don't trade on Percocet, everybody. Don't do it. March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. Indeed. Pretty soon we're going to have buy in May and go away. So maybe we'll try that here. We'll just, click buy and then sayonara. Restart the stream in November. Hey, morning, Toad. Okay, maybe starting to get a move down here. Let's mark up the Nasdaq chart. Haven't done that yet. Move up, break new high, and now we're getting a move down. Perfect price action. Let's also take a look at some of the levels here. Oops. Traded over yesterday's high here in the pre-market. Got rejected there. Let's take a look at where the close is. Right about here. So it looks like we'll probably not have a gap. Again, on the S&P, traded above yesterday's high, then dipped back below. The close is right around here. So also probably not a gap. Happy Friday, Bill. So far this has the look of being a mixed trading day. We just reached a new all-time high yesterday, so the market will be trying to digest that. I don't really expect a huge move down. We could go up, we could grind higher, but I think more than likely we will go back and forth between the level, keep testing it, and yeah, maybe end up in a range. But yeah, those would be the two likeliest scenarios: either a range and it may be a volatile one with lots of movement up and down, or perhaps we continue a grind higher. Don't expect us to drop off, have a bear trend day or anything. All right, kind of stalling off here. This looked like a good chance for bears to get something going. And still could be, we do not have any more news for the day. We're all done with news. That's already out, so it's really just a matter of the market digesting everything. So we'll see. We got 8 minutes till the open. Crossing my finger for a good end of the week. Hey, Melvin. Yeah, I did. I had, and if you're following me on Twitter, you saw I took a couple positions yesterday, to took a long on the Nasdaq and the ES at the same time. Got both of those. I'll show you. I'll pull it up here. Let's see, where was it? No, I can't even remember. I believe it was right in here somewhere. I believe it was right here. Took a long in there and then took it to a new high. Sorry, Toad. The X platform. You follow me on the X platform. The artist formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, I believe it was right here that I entered on this pullback. You know, it was in a nice uptrend, pullback. Bought here looking for a new high. And then on the Nasdaq, it was around that same time. I think. Had this nice channel going. Yeah, I think it was around that same time. Right around here or something. One of these pullbacks. So yeah, pretty solid day yesterday to get long. Four minutes to open. Come on. Let's go, market. Do something here. What's going to happen at the open? Good question. Matter of fact, that sounds like a poll to me. I want to know what y'all's thoughts on the day are. Bull trend, bear trend, or range? Market just reached a new all-time high. We held it. Coming off some economic news. What are we gonna do? We're gonna continue higher here. Is this the top? Who's picking the top? Are we dropping down into the abyss today? So far, team range is coming through. And I will say that the chat polls have been pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Got a solid crew here. So whatever the chat decides, you can pretty much YOLO your grandmother's savings into. All right, guys, we got 1 minute to go to the open. Cast your votes, make your voice heard. Let's figure out what kind of day it's going to be. Bull bear range. So far, the range is popular choice. Morning, Sage. There is the opening bell. Bull trend is the least picked option. That's interesting. Most folks think a range, and coming in second is a bear trend. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, last chance to get your votes in before we get too much information from the market. I can just see it once we get a big green candle. Everyone's bull trend, bull trend. Red candle, bear trend, bear trend. Okay. Poll is complete. Majority think that is going to be a range today. So let's YOLO into it, guys. I don't know how do you YOLO into a range. But there you have it. Iron Condor or something. Bet wide. Bet wide, yep. Don't go long. Don't go short. Go sideways. Go wide. Morning, Thomas. It's Friday. We're going up. That's the rule, says Tom. Yeah, that would be my inclination. I do not think we're going to get a bear trend for sure. We may range, but we could also go higher. I think those are the two most likely options. Possible uptrend working here. We are above yesterday's high. Got the same uptrend on the Nas. Still below yesterday's high, so for sure need to see some confirmation above that level to start getting any trades here. But Nas is dropping. ES threatening to drop. Yeah, just when you think bear trends are extinct, Thomas, they'll come back with a vengeance. Bears just hibernate, you know? They don't really go away. They just hibernate for a while. And then once it's springtime, watch out. Looks like we might get a new extreme on that channel. Some goofy price action here. Pretty sloppy. We're back below yesterday's high on ES. Donate zone alert indeed. Yeah, pretty nasty price action. Nothing consistent yet. I mean, yeah, this news really screwed everything up. I mean, stuff is playing out, right? We have right here downtrend break new low, here uptrend break new high, here downtrend break new low, here uptrend break probably a new high. So price action's, it's at least playing out. There's not any V-shaped reversals yet, knock on wood. So we can at least be glad about that. Nasdaq looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit more of a solid range starting to set up here. And there's that new high on that bull channel there on ES. Hey, Fury. Fellow trader that has to get called away for work way too often. Probably trading at work. I've been there. I have been there. Clear schedule till the afternoon. All right. That's good news. Okay. Coming up on that overnight high. Again, above yesterday's high. That's a good sign for the S&P. Keep in mind that this is where the market opened, right? So far, what everyone's looking at is bullish. We have the advantage of seeing some of the overnight action as futures traders can give a little insight into what's going on underneath the scenes when things look really bullish just on a regular trading hours chart. Oftentimes we're like, yeah, but you know what? It's stalled out here pre-market. Ooh, the Russell is looking really nice today. Possible secondary channel after the spike up this morning. Gold and oil having some pretty good movement as well. You're in the UK, Fury. Nice. 2:40 p.m. It's kind of an annoying part of the day for the market to start. I mean, I don't know if it's more annoying than 6:30 here in the west coast of the United States. It is next. Good morning. Pirate flag. Uh-oh. You don't want that pirate flag. Don't make me start drawing. We're coming right up to that overnight high. And the Nasdaq is just working its way downwards. So if you're really bullish on the S&P right now, this should be a little bit of a warning sign to you. All of the tech stocks are not rallying with the market. This is what it looks like from the open. Doesn't look very bullish. So that's, people always ask me how to use the Nasdaq or how the Nasdaq and the S&P correlate. That's one way you can look at it. Like, hey, S&P looks good, but the Nasdaq doesn't. So you should wait a little bit. You should wait a little bit. If the Nasdaq starts looking good, if it comes above the overnight high, starts putting in a nice bullish channel, okay, that changes things. But right now, it is chopping around and even heading downwards a bit while the ES is making new highs. Makes it so we cannot trust this move as much. But with that said, this is a beautiful looking move on the S&P. And let's see if it holds and maybe the Nasdaq starts following. Hey, Robin. No, I've not taken anything yet. Kind of giving the market a minute here. I like where we're headed now, though. Above the overnight high, above yesterday's high. Once the Nasdaq starts joining along, we might look for a long. I should say if the Nasdaq joins. All you folks who voted for bear trend, come on now. What's up? What's up? Problem is, this is the second leg of this move, but it is starting to look strong enough on its own, so if it continues, we may end up drawing a channel on it. But currently, it's just the second leg of that bullish move up. We'll see if the overnight highs will hold here. Ninth floor calling out a measured move from the overnight low. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Measured move from this news spike. The Nasdaq is starting to come along a little bit. Had a nice move right at yesterday's high. We'll see if the Nasdaq can get over yesterday's high, get over the overnight highs, and up into this region. We start getting in here and hold it. That'll be a good sign. That's a good question, Robin. Do I always wait till it breaks the channel before entering at the EMA, or do I take the trade inside the channel? I take the trade inside the channel too. Yeah, it doesn't have to break it for me to enter. Yeah, like if you have a solid channel, say this one, and it's really solid throughout the day, and the EMA is right around here, I would take it right when it touches the channel and the EMA. Yeah, no need to wait for a break. I don't really take it away from the EMA though. Like if you have something like this where the channel is going up and then the EMA is down here, I will wait till it comes down and gets to the EMA. So there's a lot of discretion in there, right? There's no hard and fast rules. It depends on what's going on, what the days looked like, how trustworthy I think it is to continue the move that it's currently doing. It's pretty tempting to take this long. It'd be a pretty aggressive trade with this being the second leg of a bullish move, with the Nasdaq still not above yesterday's high. This is the first attempt at the S&P to really confirm over the overnight high here. So I think you can certainly make a case for buying. But it's not a bread and butter setup for me. If you're a little bit more aggressive, I might consider taking it. Yeah, well, that certainly happens, Robin. We can always good to remember that you can never predict what something is going to do. Even if you have the best analysis in the world, your wins and your losses will always be random as far as which trades work and which trades don't. So the best you can do is the best you can do and enter and keep following the edge. That's the big thing. Yeah, I'm unsure if we're bullish too. I'm watching the Nasdaq pretty closely to see where it goes around this level. I will say, Robin, one thing to be aware of if you are planning on switching from like looking for second entries to more my style, which is just trusting the context, entering on the EMA, the win rate is lower, so you have to prepare for that mentally. My win rate is right around like 50 to 55%. So about half your trades you're losing. That is just one thing. It's different. It's a different mental approach. The second entry, taking really solid second entries tends to have a higher win rate. Of course, depending on the target you're going for, but yeah, just prepare for that mentally if you're planning on switching. Casino percentage, exactly, yeah. Exactly. Isn't it crazy that the edge that casinos have, and they trust that edge and make millions and millions and millions of dollars on it? Like, I think the roulette table, if I'm not mistaken, is like 51% odds, the house odds. I'm gonna look that up because it's pretty interesting. It looks like the house has a 5% edge across the board in roulette. So that's pretty crazy. That's like having a 55% win rate, you know, and Vegas trusts that. So 3 to 4. Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. What can be helpful too for those struggling with, I don't know, if you're aiming for a really high win percentage and you think that's going to be your saving grace, you don't need that. You don't need a high win percentage to be profitable. Yeah, that's when there's no emotions and you have millions in and out. Yep. Blackjack players and card counters have about a 2% edge. That's crazy. Yep. Yep, that's all you need. I mean, some of the best traders in the world even have way lower win rate because they have a much higher risk to reward. Like Christian Kulamaji, Swedish swing trader, his win rate's like 33% or something like that. You have to be very mentally tough to handle that because that is you're going to take a lot of losses in a row. Say Swedish swing trader 5 times fast. Yeah, right. Hey, Nasdaq is above the overnight high. It's above yesterday's high of day, so it's starting to look good. Starting to look pretty bullish. Thomas, I would say, I'm just replying to your comment here that you said you don't have enough funds to have a lower win percentage yet. That I think is the wrong way to look at it. The amount of funds you have or the amount of capital you have should have nothing to do with your win rate, because you can control your risk with a 10% win rate and a 90% win rate. It all depends on your sizing more than your win percentage. So yeah, that tells me, that kind of indicates maybe that you have too big of a size if you're worried about your losses relative to your win rate, and you should probably consider sizing down. All right, so I am kind of thinking that this second leg might be a legit channel in and of itself. Let's take a look at the 10K, see if that offers any insights. Yeah, see, the 10K looks about the same, but this is just a channel on its own. Johnny says the daily is starting to scare him. Let's take a look at that daily, see what you're talking about, Johnny. Still looks to me like we are in the daily channel, so I think we're all right. Keep in mind that the all-time high, keep in mind that the all-time high is a good thing. Yeah, a lot of folks see the all-time high and they're like, oh man, it's got a reverse now. Dude, the all-time high, everyone's in the green here. Everyone's making money. There's really no reason for the market to drop. You have this starting here. Well, let's check what it looks like there. Yeah, if you have it starting there, it does start to look like an overshoot, but Yeah. I think the channel makes more sense this way. Just looks visually better. But either way, I'm just following the price action for today. Yes, Johnny, on uptrends, I care more about bottom touches than top touches. Same on downtrends. I care more about top touches than bottom touches. Looking at the secondary channel on the Nasdaq, looks pretty decent. This is pretty hard to draw on the S&P. Like, this looks like it has a break in new high. It's tickling the measure move from the overnight low. I'm assuming you're talking about this low, even though I wouldn't say that's really the overnight low. But yeah, I would look for the from the next low. Oh, I see, the low disregarding the news spike. Gotcha. I would still count the news spike. I don't think you can ignore that. But it's just a funny looking move up. I don't really know how to draw it. Okay, the question here is whether or not we buy this pullback. I'm a bit conflicted. I don't think this channel is super solid. I really don't know, and for that reason I should probably not take anything. We have not been able to see any move from the bears to test the bid. That has me worried a little bit. I think this looks like great strong action, but since the open, the bears have not really had a chance to test the bid at all. So I kind of think we might start to get that here pretty soon. Maybe the bears come and try to go attack this overnight high, and then we'll see. So that, I think that's probably where I'm at game plan wise, is look for a move down, and then likely a consolidation in here. And then once we see that and this area is holding and it looks like the downtrend is played out, that's when we'll want to look for a move higher. So I think that's where I'm at. I don't know that I want to buy this upcoming pullback. Nice, Sage. Great work. Great work. Glad you got that one. Yes, Toad. The answer is always yes. Should you pick a top? Should you pick a bottom? You know it. That's the only way to be profitable, is to pick tops and bottoms. You're welcome. I give the best advice. My advice is the best. I give the best advice. Oh yeah, of course, Fury. Yeah, it's just regular advice, not financial advice. Man, oh man. This is just greed at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Another all-time high for the market. The S&P had a goofy little break of this channel. I don't know, man. This is just kind of hard to draw. Yeah, I'm not going to be buying a pullback. I do want to see if the bears have anything. We have only been printing green candles from the open on a 5-minute basis on the S&P. We have not seen the bid tested really at all. So the gap and go. The gap and go is not typically what happens on the SPY index. Usually you'll see some sort of bid testing early on. Here's what we've been doing since the market opened. So usually you'll see something in here before we get going. So yeah, I may miss it. You know, maybe we'll just continue to rally all day from here and never look back. That could certainly happen, but I do want to see a bearish correction take place before I'm interested in buying. I want to see what the sellers are made of, if anything. Ideal scenario is that they come down and, you know, it looks really weak and we have a new low and then we're instantly like back above the EMA. So here we go. Here's the bear's chance. We will see what they can do. And if we get just an absolutely perfect second entry long right on the EMA, I'll enter. But like I said, I'm expecting more of a correction. So far, it looks like that's what's happening. Yeah, easy decisions are the way to go, Johnny. When it's very clear whether you can or can't take a trade, that's good stuff. It's all the questionable, in the middle gray areas that are tricky. I think I found a good channel on the Nasdaq. That looks pretty solid to me. I'd be pretty interested in buying, actually. But need to see more of a correction than this. Nasdaq already getting a new high. Let's see if the EAS follows suit. Yeah, looks like buying the EMA would have worked. Totally, Johnny. Have you been tracking that? Do you have some solid results? What have you found? All right, Cricket, good luck. Good luck. I'll be happy if someone gets in it and gets a win, even if it's not me. And always hard to see a trade that you're like unsure about go and then just become a really nice winner. So I'm trying to already prepare myself for that and remember that it's all right. It's all right. I would rather miss out on a winner than get caught in a loser. Yeah, Johnny, that's not surprising. I mean, just by simple math, going for 4 ticks would yield a much higher win rate. The piece you just gotta think about in that is your risk on each trade. Usually if you're going for 4 ticks with your stop below the signal bar, you have a very high risk to reward, which makes it a little tricky. And so like if you get a loser, it can wipe out several winners. And then if you get 2 losers in a row, it really, you dig yourself a hole. So that's the one thing I don't enjoy about that. And of course it evens out, and of course you can be profitable. I think a lot of it depends on personality and like what you would prefer mentally. For me, I really don't enjoy having a loser that wipes out a bunch of progress, even if my win rate is high. I don't like that feeling of having to dig out of the hole. I much prefer having my wins and my losses about the same. So if I get 1 loss, it's like, hey, I just need 1 win and I'm back to break even. This looks like a nice green bar, but I am still going to be holding off here. See, right about now, if I had entered this trade on the EMA, I'd really be regretting it. Going, man, I shouldn't have chased this thing. Knew we were going to get a big correction. So confirming my decision so far. Still might end up being a winner, but I'm just trying to put myself where I'd be thinking mentally. It'd be tough right now to see it coming back to me now in a drawdown. You see these gap and goes on the S&P, and it's very unstable. It doesn't happen very often that the S&P will just gap and then continue higher. The market is so efficient. You get that kind of pattern with, you know, penny stocks and low float gappers and stuff, but usually the S&P 500 will at least have a bid check before it goes on a rally. So when you don't see that, I get a little bit uneasy, and I would rather miss a rally that never has a bearish correction than try to chase one and then get caught in the bearish correction. Nice, Johnny. Well, I'm really glad you're finding a system that is starting to work for you. And I think I would encourage everyone to do similar experiments like that, similar data tracking. Like, okay, what would happen if I went for a higher target here? Or what would happen if I only did this? And yeah, then you can really find out what fits you, what you enjoy the most, what you're most profitable with, because there's so many ways to make money, man. There's so many ways to be profitable. Definitely pick one system. Like, it's not helpful to just be jumping from this to that or the other thing, but once you have generally like what you think you'd like to trade, try to hone it in and customize it to your personality. The VWAP on SPY is down in here somewhere. Kind of have a feeling we're going to go down and test that. Nasdaq putting in a nice bearish candle here. Is this the rollover or just the rest stop? That is the question, isn't it? I personally think it's the rollover, which is why I'm holding off here. I do expect a bullish day. Like, definitely hear me. I don't think the market's gonna reverse or anything. But I just mean the short-term rollover. Like, maybe down into here kind of rollover. But no, I think we continue bullish for the day. Dang, nice. If this bar closes on its high, nice looking second entry long on the Nasdaq. But that did not finish well. That did not finish well. See where it would have been if I would have taken this trade. We'd be getting pretty close to the stop. Nasdaq now below the EMA. If that would have closed really bullish, it would have been worthy of consideration, but it did not. But this is exactly what I wanted to see, guys. So this is what I was talking about. I wanted to see the correction, see how strong bears are. So this is perfect. I'm glad we're getting this. This is going to give us a lot of information as far as how strong the market is and what the rest of the day is likely to do. So this is really good information. I'm just soaking it up right now. So far, the S&P making lower lows, lower highs. See if that can break the structure right here. Cool, Johnny. Nice. Glad you got a win there. Got a feeling that this drop is pending. Yeah, we are kind of stuck between two ideas here. This uptrend was not great, but it does have a break. Could get a new high. But also we have VWAP down here. No bid has really been tested too much. This is really the first bid test of the market. And if we go up and make a new high, awesome. That's gonna solidify it for me. Yep, we were bullish today, and then I can start looking for longs. And if not, I'll be glad I waited. Nasdaq new high. Rocketed up. I have not looked at the 4K. I don't think I've ever looked at a 4K chart. But I'm going to go hop on over to the 10. 10 still looking bullish. Nice, Johnny. I might start taking a look at that. Good to have that kind of mid-range chart. There's the 4,000. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there, doesn't it? Settling into a bit of a range here. Nasdaq getting quite the steep reversal off that new high. And you can kind of expect that when you, I don't know if you were watching it, but it just went straight up. These bars formed in about 2 seconds. So it just went straight up. When you get that kind of impulsive move, usually it'll have a impulsive correction. Even if it does eventually continue up, you don't usually see something that quick be sustained. It gets smacked down initially. All right, here we go. See what you got, Bears. Stalling on this range low. I do expect for us to break through it though. At least initially. Again, I'm not expecting a bearish trend day by any means, but I am waiting to see us get into this zone here. Test the VWAP, that kind of thing. S&P is very close to the VWAP. Coming down to test it now. And I would not wait for a failed breakout. Again, I do think that we're going to get a little bit of a bid test here, as I've been preaching. If we bounce directly off the VWAP and end in a bullish hammer on a 5-minute basis, I will look to get long. But so glad I waited now. This is exactly what I was anticipating. So it's always nice to have a bit of caution and then see it play out exactly as you thought. Save you from a losing trade. So that's good stuff. And we're going to get a better opportunity to get a long at a better price if we do end up, you know, forming a range or something down here. And then we go up, like this is going to be a much better price down here. Okay, we're on the VWAP right now on the S&P. Nasdaq still hasn't, or yeah, the Nasdaq hasn't reached it yet. Here's that overnight high level. That was like the breakout area too. We might go and test that. I do not know if we have a wider channel here. It'd put us right at that VWAP. Wonder if we can find something on the 10K. No, Thomas, I'm not interested on selling just yet. It's been too bullish for that. I want to get long. I'm just waiting for a bearish correction to play out. Right on the 10K's EMA. Yes, Ace, I am looking at the VWAP on a 5-minute SPY chart. That's exactly right. Nasdaq is right on its VWAP, and that is based on a 5-minute chart on the QQQ. So yeah, both a key level for both indices. This is perfect, guys. This is exactly what I was looking for. So we'll see how it reacts here. We'll see what happens. If we blow through it and continue downwards, then we're likely in for a range day. But if we find some support here, might be a good entry for a long. Nasdaq is now on that breakout area, yesterday's high, as well as the overnight high. This top out is the overnight. This is the yesterday's high of day. If we get below yesterday's high of day, watch out. We could get some more downward movement. Oof. What a bullish candle on the Nasdaq. Might turn into a bullish hammer on the right off the VWAP. Geez, if you just bought the VWAP bounce blindly, so far working out really well. Johnny, right now, what do I have going? I have a 30k eval going. Sorry, 300k. 30k, 300k, you know, potato. Melvin, nice. Bought a VWAP. 12 ticks. Yeah, I think you could have got more off that. If you're looking at a 5-minute, on a 5-minute basis, right off the VWAP, I would probably target a new high, or at least close to it. All right, Johnny, that's all right. I know you've mentioned that several times. I should do another challenge. Maybe that would be a good milestone to do it at. Couple subs away from 1500 too. Remember what I said about impulsive moves. This is definitely one. If you were watching right off that VWAP, it just went straight up. And yeah, the 5-minute candle's not even closed yet, so could get a doji. Could end up as a doji. So far it's looking like it. Boy, these bars. This is something else, man. We're getting some really long bars. I like the amount of volume in the market right now. I like the movement. This is good stuff. Could set up for some good trades. Headed back down to the VWAP for another test. We did close green on the first candle on a 5-minute basis on there. But now we're getting a down move. Looks like we might go to test. Where's yesterday's high? Let's get that. marked. Maybe we'll go all the way down to yesterday's high. That'd be crazy. But it looks like the pre-market high is for sure going to get tested. Actually, technically they are right here. Nasdaq is right at yesterday's high and the overnight high, testing that level. This downtrend has a break and new low, so this may be where we start to head up again. And if we do, I'm going to be ready to take a long. And this is more than enough confirmation that the bulls will be the victors if we can bounce from here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. This is the bearish correction I was wanting on the indices, and if we can find some support, this could be a great long. That's a good recognition, Johnny, to go, you know what, this is usually where I get a good loser. And so yeah, if you're not reading things clearly, if it's not obvious to you what you think you should do based on your system, totally fine to sit out. You'll thank yourself later. Don't go red into the weekend. Yep. Yeah, I'd rather be flat on a Friday than red on a Friday. Well, obviously, but I mean, I'd rather settle for a flat day than trying to get a good trade and ending up red. Nasdaq is still below the VWAP, now below yesterday's high. This is where you're gonna, if it doesn't bounce here, we're pretty much guaranteed a gross rangy day. Yeah, you could draw this kind of big, crazy uptrend. Might end up being legit, but I don't know. I'm not trusting it. This would be the bounce from it, so if you are playing that... Oh, sorry, you weren't even watching my chart. I was looking at some big channel like this. And if you are playing that, this is the bounce right here. This doesn't look great. You got lower highs, kind of flat, getting into a little bit of a wedge. No, not the walrus teeth reversal. I see it. I see it. The walrus teeth reversal. I don't know how to draw a walrus head though. I know they got some whiskers, right? This is a terrible walrus. I need to figure out how to draw a walrus. The teeth, I got the teeth. I'm literally Googling walrus cartoon right now so I can get some idea. I mean, you know, I don't care if my drawings are great, but it's got to at least look somewhat like the animal I'm trying to draw. All right, so here we go. Here's what I was missing. You need this little thing. Now we're talking round head. Yeah, there we go. Fat body. That's more like a walrus. And the whiskers. So there's your walrus teeth reversal, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Thank you, Tom, for pointing out the obvious there. I think that's a pattern we all should have seen. Starting to get some support on the VWAP. So if we can start pushing up here, I will be interested in a long targeting that new high. This is the second leg up of this move here. First leg, break, second leg with this somewhat of a wedge kind of pattern. So not interested in going long yet. Want to see maybe one more push down. It's a little bit too nasty in here, but support is starting to form, so that's good. We can start to gain some confidence. The bears had a chance to get some stuff going. Bid was tested, came down towards that was the overnight high, and on the Nasdaq we actually tested yesterday's high of day 2, so can start to feel pretty good about this. The bears have had their chance. If we continue to range here and form support here and then start to move up, we'll start to get into some high probability territory, targeting a new high, and shoot, we may have a bullish trend day. So that is what I'm looking for. Not expecting a bearish trend day for sure. We may end up in a range, and you will know that if we get like a bearish channel down this way, maybe start forming support here, then yeah, we can expect a big range probably between these two levels, and it's pretty wide, right? So there can be lots of opportunities for trends up, and then trends down. You can trade on both sides of the market. So we'll see what kind of day it is. This is a very key area. What happens here? Do we form support? Do we go below it? So we'll find out. That's what I'm looking for the day. It's Friday, so hoping to only get something really quality. I don't want to take a dumb trade on a Friday and go into the weekend on a sour note. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you all have a wonderful trading day. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back at it this coming week with some solid trading together. So peace and love. Take care, everybody.